Hey y'all, um, I'm gonna talk a little lower. Just got back in the room from going to eat some lunch, and my son is asleep, so hopefully I don't wake him up. But I was led on here to talk to someone about the operation of demonic spirits against you and the devil against you. Okay, so bear with me. It shouldn't be too lengthy, but I want you to get this. So, backstory for myself. When I was a little girl, when I was about 4 to 5 years old, I think it was before I was going to daytime school at Marva Collins Preparatory School. I remember being downstairs in the living room of the house I grew up in, and it was three girls that was around me, and they were all standing together, and they were all looking at me a certain way, like rude, and they were like kind of bullying me and kind of wouldn't play with me. That's how they were bullying me. They wouldn't play with me. They were like, no, we don't want to play with you. We're not going to play with you. And just looking at me like, And my feelings was so hurt. And I was just looking at them and they were like, no, we don't want to play with you. And after a while, I went upstairs to my grandmother, who me and my mom lived with most of my growing up. My grandparents living with my grandma, my grandfather. And I went upstairs to my grandmother because my grandfather wasn't in the front room at that time. And I cried to her. I was like I came up so sad and I was like, I think I was crying actual tears. And she was like, what's wrong? What's wrong? And I said, those girls are being so mean to me. They won't play with me. And I just looked sadder and sadder. And my grandma was like, what girls? Like, what girls are you talking about? I said, the girls downstairs. There's three girls. Grandma was like, there's no girls downstairs. I said, yes, there are. There's three girls downstairs and they're being mean to me. They're saying they don't want to play with me and they don't so. And I just started crying. My grandmother. Mind you, I'm the only child, and I'm the only child that lives in the house at that time. At that time, I was the only child that lived in the house. And my grandmother, sorry, I had to check on my baby, but what was I saying? Yes, my grandmother, she went ballistic. Now, the best way I can describe how she went ballistic is, you ever see the tribal, I don't know if they're Hawaiian, but I know they are like islanders, and they say ha hoo-wah, yeah, yeah, yeah. And they like do stands and they're women and they go crazy like stuff like that. I'm gonna look up who those people are so that I can put their culture or a video of them in the description box. My little guy may be waking up from his nap soon. But yeah, I'm gonna put in the description box the culture I'm talking about, and they go full out crazy. And that's what my grandma did when I was 4 to 5 years old. Now, mind you, I'm not knowing what language she's speaking. I'm not knowing why she going crazy. Cause to me, I'm just telling you what just happened downstairs and she going crazy. But like I said in a previous video, I think it was how to ultimately get into heaven. I said that my grandma had told me that I was like the movie The Sixth Sense, and she showed me the movie The Sixth Sense when I was young. And yeah, having to find out that those were not real girls. Those was girls I saw, but they were real to me because I saw them, but they weren't real as in physical. And my grandma let me know, like, you are seeing spirits. And now where I'm at today, once I got saved, I had an understanding that those were demons in the form of little girls to try to come and discourage me, to try to bully me, and to make me feel like crap. which is so funny. Okay, that's that one story. I'm gonna do another story. Fast forward to me being in the second grade, going to school, and I remember that I had like two girls that were like I was cool with in the second grade. Or no, I think it was the third grade. It was either third grade or second grade. And they weren't like my best friends or nothing, but you know, you meet classmates in school and you know, you become cool with them if you have to sit next to them or whatever. But these were some messy girls. Like they were messy, very messy. And one was she was a heavy set, big, thick girl. Like she was a really big girl for her age. She was too big a little bit. And no, not a little bit, a lot of it. She was too big. Hi, son. You hear mommy? He's oh, I would show you like no tomorrow. But you're my precious private gift. I love you. Hi, sweet baby. Okay, he's quiet for right now. Um, hi. Okay, he's not crying, so um, but yeah. Fast forward to second grade. Um, these girls, one was way bigger than what she should have been, and the other girl, she was like regular weight, but she was very like messy. So the bigger girl had more of a really bully type of personality. They were always trying to bully this one other girl in the classroom. They didn't try to bully me, but they tried to bully this one other girl. And I wouldn't bully the girl. I wouldn't. Cause I was kind of new to the school. They had been going there since like kindergarten, and I was like coming in second grade, um, or third grade per se. And I don't know why they were bullying her. I didn't know if she had did something to them or if I don't know what she did. I didn't know why they were doing it, but I learned. Boy, did I learn. One day we were in class and there was this new girl, or it was like another girl there. It was like different groups of girls. And one of the girls, they just was like, we're not going to talk to this person. We're going to be mean to this person, right? And I peeped it. And the girl, they were talking about her hair. They were talking about her outfit. And mind you, we in second grade. We in like second, third grade, but we in the hood. Like I'm living out south. I'm living on the south side of Chicago. I'm growing up on the south side of Chicago. And they were mean to this girl, and I was like sitting with them at the lunch table, and I picked my stuff up. I picked my tray up, I picked my everything up, and I went to go sit by the girl. And I was talking to the girl, and they were like, where are you going? Like, why are you sitting next to her? And I was like, because I can. And then they said something to her, and I was like, because she can. And I sat next to her and she didn't look up. She had she was so down. Even me sitting next to her and, you know, getting away from them and even speaking up for her, like it didn't do much for her because she was just, it was just a spirit of down, depression, just grief all over her. Like she was just out of it. Like she wasn't paying attention. She didn't pay attention to them. She didn't never look up at them. She didn't look up at me. Even while I sat next to her the whole time, she didn't speak to me or nothing. But I would offer her things like, "Do you want this or do you want this off my tray?" And she never looked up. She would just keep her head down and eat, and she would just shake her head like no, or she'll say no. And they saw that, and they were like, "Oh, she gonna be with the one that we bully all the time." And so they didn't do nothing that day. They didn't do nothing the next day. But I would say at the end of that school week, I think it was the end of the school week. I think we had a weekend. It was like a Friday. Or it was probably like 3 days later after the incident. They weren't talking to me. I wasn't talking to them. I didn't have no attitude towards them. I wasn't mad at them, but I wasn't talking to them. It was like, yeah, no, I don't really care for it. Like, y'all was cool. I was a new girl. Yeah, but it's a no, you know. And that's kind of always been my personality pretty much with certain things. And after school in second grade, I was walking to where my mom's car would be, like where all the parents lined up their cars on the side of the street. And these girls came out of nowhere. One grabbed one arm and one grabbed my other arm, and they're pulling me back and forth, pulling me. And I'm like realizing I'm getting jumped. Now, it's a baby version of jump. I'm not getting like punched or nothing, but it's like a second grader's jumping another second grader. Like it was a baby jump. And I'm like looking up and I saw my mom and I was like, Ma, and she came. And my mom has always had a certain personality. Like I like, yeah. And she told them like, let me go. And the big, juicy, overweight, oversized baby, second grader, was like, what you gonna do about it? You know? And my mom looked at her. Like now it's like I looked at her too. I was like, wow, she bad. She bad to the bone. She'll say that to an adult. Like she crazy. She told me something, what you gonna do about it? And their parents were nowhere around. I don't know if they walked to school or what. But yeah, that's the second incident. And they didn't do nothing to me. They did it and then they eventually let me go. And my mom did the right thing. She didn't touch neither the kids or anything. But yeah, so that's second example. That's second grade. I'm gonna give you another example. Another example is when this is in real life. I was going to school and I had moved from the city in fifth grade, and now I'm going to school in the burbs in fifth grade. And this was sixth grade year, so it was like girls that would like talk, you know, girls talk to each other, but sometimes girls can like secretly not like you but act like they like you because they kind of want to be you, or they want to be like you or whatever, or they don't want to have no problem with you but they are jealous of you, but they don't want to show they jealous of you because they low-key want to be around you type. Anyway, it was some drama going on in sixth grade, and somebody had lied and said that I had said something that I did not say. But I never was the type to have a problem with confronting an issue. Like I would say, like word around the street is, word around school is that I said this, and I said I did not say that. Like I'll go to the person and say it. Where everyone is like talking behind each other's back, no one is confronting each other to the face for the most part. And I said I did not say this or whatever to this one girl. And the girl, we lived in the same apartment complex. And she asked me on the bus ride home. She was saying, did you say da da da? And I was like, no, I didn't say da da da. I said da da da. Said exactly what I said. And I said what other people had actually said. And I said, somebody lying. And somebody didn't say something that I didn't say, because if I wanted to say it, I would have said it to your face. And she like, oh, well, I just heard that. And I said, yeah, that's what you heard. But trust me, if I said it, I would tell you. I ain't got no problem telling you if I said something like that. She's like, oh, okay, cool, cool. I'm just making sure we got making sure we got an understanding, like making sure that I know what happened. I was like, yeah, I could tell you exactly what happened. Like we going back and forth, you know? And it was getting rowdy, but at the end of it, like when the bus ride stopped, she got calm. She was calm. She was like, oh, okay, well, thank you for letting me know. I just wanted to make sure. I was like, yeah, you need to go check back and talk to this person. I gave her a name. You need to talk to them. I said, we could talk to them together or whatever. And she was like, okay, okay. She was like calm. She made it seem like she was fully understanding that I was telling her exactly what happened. And I wasn't mad at the girl, but it's like, yeah, no, I had no problem saying what I had to say. I go into my apartment complex. Mind you, this girl, we live in the same apartment complex, but she lived on a completely opposite side. I live in the front, she lived all the way in the back. I go into my apartment building. The apartment building is full of concrete floors. The stairs to go up to your apartment door, like your front door, all concrete floors. Like when I say concrete, I mean like concrete, like construction concrete. And they're big slabs of concrete. It's just all concrete all over the floor. in the stairs. And I'm in sixth grade. I'm like 12 years old or 11. I think I was 11 or 12 at the time. And what happened was I started walking up the stairs. You get one, two, like at least 3 flights of stairs up, and I was halfway up the first flight. Halfway up the first flight, I feel something on my back, and I flew back. I flew back from being halfway up this concrete floor staircase. And I ended up back on the floor where you enter your apartment building. I got turned around, like the person, they pushed my shoulder around, turned me around. And who was standing in front of me is the girl that I was talking to on the bus. I get turned around by her, and I just see hands flying. I can't feel nothing, because one thing, when we moved from the city to the burbs, my mom would always say, these are concrete floors. These are concrete floors. Be careful when you walk in the building. Be careful. You do not want to slip. You do not want to fall. When you bring up groceries outside of the car, take your time, walk slow. Because if you bust your head or hit your head on the concrete, you could pass out or you could die, and we would have to go to the hospital. That was always ingrained in my mind. And I'm a little girl. I'm a child. And so when I'm seeing these hands just coming towards me, I don't know if she was like slapping or punching. I couldn't feel it. Because only thing that was in my mind at the time was I could have bust my head on these concrete floors and could have bust my head open. Could have cracked my skull open. That's the only thing I was thinking. And so I was I was here, but I wasn't here. My brain kind of, for the first time ever in my life, kind of shut off a little bit. It was odd. I don't even know how to explain it fully. But my brain kind of shut off. Like how people say they see red. I didn't see red. It's like my brain shut off. Because that's all I could think of was the concrete floors. And something in my brain, like I did something I had never done before. And I attacked this person. And I attacked them. I ended up giving them a permanent birthmark, right? Or what looked like a birthmark years later or whatever. And the person starts screaming. She was like, get her off me, get her off me. And I literally, I don't know, like if I had a spirit animal at that time, my spirit animal now is an eagle, hallelujah. But at the time, I had the spirit animal of like a pit bull, like a bulldog for that moment. And she was screaming like, get her off me, get her off me. Ah, her hands flew up, and I was like, arr, arr. Right? And it was a circle around us. I don't know how the circle got around us, but it was a circle around us, and people were trying to pull her away. And they were like, let her go, like telling me let her go. And some people was like, get her a, whatever. I won't focus on none of that. My mind wasn't even active because I don't know, growing up in the city, I ain't never had gotten into a fight with somebody one-on-one where they like sneak attacked me. Like that was such a it was a goofy move, but it was like such a bold, goofy move. Like that, it was such a coward move at the same time as well. It was just all things in my mind at once. Like, did they really just take me off of a half a flight of stairs that was concrete, and then the floor that I was brought to was concrete? And thank God I landed on my feet. I don't even know how I landed on my feet. It was actually like a miracle how I landed on my feet, because I could not see. I flew off the stairs and somehow ended up on my feet where the person could turn me around. And it's only by the grace of God that I wasn't able to be pulled off and instantly crack my skull, because that person was a child. They would have been in big trouble from that moment. not even thinking that nothing like that could have happened. Me even not even thinking that, well, no, that's what I thought, because that's what my mom told me every day. Like she did not let up on them concrete stairs. So I kind of had like a phobia around them. Like in that story, 6th grade, getting sneak attacked. Um, Next story is 7th grade. I think it's 7th grade. It was like between 6th and 7th grade. So the person from the 6th grade story that sneak attacked me and ended up going home screaming to her mom and trying to get her mom to come and do something. I don't know what. Who knows? But 6th and 7th grade, I had a girl that I knew. We was cool actually, um, but she was known for like flying off the handle and not having no self control. And she had said something like, she was like, "This girl said this to me. She got a lot of nerve. Da da da. I be her AI. Da da da." Like just going off. And I said, "Well, what the girl say to you?" And she was telling me, she said yada yada. It was like something that like was not worthy to want to fight somebody for, and they was like friends. And I was like, well, maybe if you know you didn't do this said thing to her, and I said maybe if you didn't do this said thing to her, she would have never said that, because when you told her this or when you did such and such to her, that was her response. And so she was kind of letting you know like she didn't like that. And we was walking together. We was walking together down the hallway. And as I'm walking, I'm thinking she's still like right beside me. Like we walking and talking, and all I hear is, "What you say?" And I turn around and she wasn't standing next to me no more. She was talking to me though, and she was like, "What you say to me? I beat your hey," like going off, like going crazy. And I'm looking at her like I was so confused. And this is me in 7th grade, 6th to 7th grade. And like everybody coming out the classroom, we in the hallway or whatever, and she like, "Ah, God," she just talking mad stuff. She's a certain distance away from me, but she's never walking towards me. Like she ain't never walk up to my face. And so I'm standing there looking dumbfounded. So what it looked like is like, I don't know, it could look like I'm scared of the person, or it could look like, I don't know. Like I know I was dumbfounded. I could not believe like this was somebody I was cool with. She said a situation happened with somebody else. I tell her why the situation probably happened because of the things she had said to the person. And then the situation ended up happening, the same situation ended up happening with me. And it just showed me like, oh, this is why this person is keep going through these things with different people. And yeah, fast forward, I ended up, this person kept going around school saying they'll be my A, they'll be my A. They said it that one time to my face, but they ain't never said no more times to my face. And like a teacher like dragged them away and was like, "Okay, go to class or go to the office." And they didn't tell me to go to the office because I was just standing there. I had put my hands in my jean pocket, both of my hands in my jean pocket, were just standing there looking at the girl. And but yeah, after that day, she was just going around school telling everybody, "I'll be her A, I'll be her A." Da, da, da. And I said, whenever you want to, we could do that. Like, I ain't got no problem. You doing a lot of talking. She had been talking for like half a week. And it's like, I ain't said nothing. They like, "Oh, do you know so and so going around school telling everybody?" And I'm like, "I ain't worried about her. I ain't worried about her. I ain't tripping on her." And it got like irritating after the point, because I got everybody like, I'm in gym class, people coming up. I'm in English class. I go to math class. It's like to the point, it's like, go tell. I said, I walked up to somebody. I said, "Your locker right next to them, right?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "Go tell this person that we could do that whenever she wants to. I'm ready. Like, I'm over it. Like, I'm over her talking mess." And then I started telling everybody, like, if she really was on that and if she wasn't scared, she would have been did something. They was like, "Ooh, you know how 6th graders is." 6th, 7th grade. And this is what, 2006? Yeah, like 2007, 2008. And they like, "Oh, snap," so they go tell her, right? It's just like commotion started. And so I was never big on like talking mess. Like I talk some mess, but I wasn't like finna talk it all day. And so long story short, we had set up to do that, to fight it out. Because I was tired of all the talk. It was so much talk and nothing being done. It was like just the person just running their mouth like crazy. And it's like if you really bout it, you gonna be bout it. Like you ain't gonna keep talking. And so whatever. And I told her where I was at. I was like I was at home. Somebody gave her my address. But I knew she was coming. I didn't know exactly. I had said I was gonna meet her someplace that wasn't exactly my house, but I was like going to walk to the location I was gonna meet at. And whoever was gave her my exact address. So as I'm walking outside to go fight this girl, it's a van full of people. Full of people. Like it's like her and probably three other girls, which were like her family members, and her mom driving this van. And as soon as I walk out my house, they pull up outside my house, jumping out the car. And I see Shorty. And we get to fighting. Every time we fighting, I'm winning. Her mama getting mad. Everybody telling her, be her A, saying her name, be her A, saying her name, whatever. And she ain't never getting the best of me. She losing. And it got to a point where her mom had picked both of us up off the floor. She picked her up. She picked me up one hand and got her daughter in the other hand off the floor. Like we ain't touching the floor. She picked us up off the floor. And she looked at her daughter and said, be her A, so-and-so. And she put her daughter on her feet. She dropped me on the floor where I was like, I fell. I was on my knees. When that happened, her and her cousins like ran to jump me, had the opportunity to jump me. And so they do a mini jump or whatever. I couldn't feel none of it. You know, when your adrenaline pumping and going crazy, you can't really feel. You could feel, but you can't. I couldn't feel. I couldn't feel none of it. It depends on how hard the blow is or how hard the impact is. I couldn't feel none of it. My adrenaline was just going crazy. And after they do their little thing, I get up to fight the girl. And when I got up to give her more of what I had to give, her mom saw me. She saw her daughter couldn't get the best of me. And this grown woman, middle age, she wasn't even 30. I think she was past 30. And I'm a 6th, 7th grade. I'm 11 to 12 years old. She punched me in my face. I went back, stumbled back so many feet. Like, when I tell you the way I was stumbling back, it was forever. It felt like a full minute. And as I'm stumbling back, I never fell back. And honestly, I don't take credit for that today. I think it had to be an angel or God or something that did not allow me to fall back. Because the way I was hit was like she punched me like I was a grown woman, like I was her age. And after I stumbled back, I stumbled literally almost a house and a half past my house. And once I was able to catch my footing, I looked at her and I was so shocked. I ain't never had no grown woman fight me, like punch me in my face, like as if I was another grown 35-year-old woman. And I just looked at her shocked, and I was mad. Like my face was balled up. I was mad, but I was shocked. And she was like, now what? Be what you gonna do? You think you bad? You da-da-da. She was talking a whole bunch of mess, and I was just standing there looking at her. And then it was like, she was like, come on, y'all. They all got in the van and drove off. I went in the house. I looked in the mirror. Oh, yeah, you eating good, buddy? I ate good for you. I went in the house. I looked in the mirror, and a big black eye was forming. Like when I tell you this black eye was so big, this thing was covering my eye. It was big. And honestly, with her being a 35-year-old, like she could have like popped my eyeball. Like anything could have happened. But by the grace of God, it didn't, right? So that's 6th, 7th grade. What else? If you listen to the story that I gave in the video, the first demonic manifestations part 2, I talk about how I had been attacked. This is after I got saved. But yeah, how it was just like on the sneak, on the sly, like the 6th grade thing when a girl pulled me off the stairs and I ended up pit bulling her for longer than, like, I wasn't, my brain wasn't even working. I was just so shocked and I was just so bamboozled that that happened. And that she was that much of a coward to not try to fight me where she's fighting me face to face, where she wanted to have the upper hand, she wanted to have the advantage, right? Like a surprise attack, a sneak attack. I'm saying these little stories to say, this is how the devil comes for people. Pay attention to how the enemy has attacked you throughout your life. Because when you give your life to Christ, he's going to do it the same way. When I got saved, oh, and before I got saved, I have 2 other stories that I'm going to do about before I gave my life to Christ, how 2 groups of people were like trying to put witchcraft on me. And they did. They put some witchcraft on me. But what I've noticed in my life is that these people, these girls mostly, but like with the demonic manifestation part 2, it was a man. It was my dad. And then my uncle did it too. These entities, these spirits, demons that are residing in people, all my life, they ain't never came for me 101. They always come in packs. They always, like, even fights I didn't have, girls that didn't like me, they were like, I'm gonna go get my big cousin, I'm gonna go get my big sister. And it's like, I wasn't going to get nobody bigger. I wasn't going to tell nobody. I was the only child, but I never, now that I'm a grown adult, I realized I never carried myself like as if I was the only child. I always carried myself like as if I had big siblings or like I had a team of siblings at home or something. Like I was fighting people and I had no problem with it. And I didn't mind confrontation at all. Like I was all for it, you know? But I wasn't a fighter. I wasn't a, no, I was a fighter. I wasn't an instigator. I would never instigate a fight. Like I was never the type to say, to fight somebody for no reason or to just instigate drama. Now drama may come and I'll meet drama where it's at and I will fight. Like I definitely had no problem with fighting. I actually kind of enjoyed it to a certain extent. But yeah, I never was the type to like, let me start drama. Let me start problems that don't exist. That wasn't my steez. And so with the enemy, what I've noticed, even with the witchcraft stories, and I'm going to do another video on that, it's always people coming for me that is bringing more than just themselves. Like something inside of them is telling them, I can't fight this girl one-on-one. Or I don't want to. If I can, I don't want to. Something about this person, I want to tag team on her. I want to have more than just me because I'm not enough. Or if they did try to fight me one-on-one, it was always a sneak attack. Let me sneak attack. Let me give her a surprise because I don't want it to be a fair fight. I don't want it to be an even fight. I don't want it to be where she can gain ground over me because something inside of her, something inside of this spirit, something inside of this soul that is within this girl, it intimidates me. It brings out the coward in me. And some of these people, it wasn't just me that bring out the coward in them. Some of these people, like one of them said persons, they've done that multiple times. Like I didn't see them sneak attack multiple people, like so that they can have the upper hand, so that they can have the advantage in the fight. And they end up winning or they end up losing because they think a sneak attack is like a problem solver for every fight. Like, let me act like I'm not gonna fight this person and then just attack them when they ain't paying attention. Goofy, and it's a coward. It shows no backbone, no strength. But yeah, this is an example of how the enemy comes for people. And so that is my story. That is how the enemy has came for me many times since I was a little girl. With the girls that I saw that was in my front room that really weren't in my front rooms, but it was demons disguised as little girls to try to bully me. And it wasn't one girl, it was three, to try to come make me feel like crap. Then in real life, I'm having physical fights and it's more than one person trying to physically fight me. Or these people are doing sneak attacks, like they're waiting for an opportunity to seize their moment to attack me. And so like there's people on here. I wasn't bullied growing up. I was never, I mean, nobody really had a chance to be honest, for real, for real. There's people that are listening to this where you guys may have been bullied growing up, or you guys may have had something unique about you. Let's say you've had green eyes or brown eyes or blue eyes, and people have always tried to ridicule how you look because you have something about you that stands out. There is something that you have been experiencing since you were a little girl or a little boy that if you really think about it, if you really pay attention, you may need to write it down on a piece of paper and see like what different problems or what different things that I faced growing up. You will see how the enemy has been coming for you since the beginning of time. And literally, once I gave my life to Christ, the way the enemy has been coming for me my whole life through people, through situations, it was the same. Demons don't come for me like one. It don't be one. It be more than one. It always is more than one. And that's how they try to attack me now that I gave my life to Christ. And when it is one, it's after they have like tried to jump me in the spirit. And then when they see like I'm kind of tired, kind of wore out, not like I have no strength, but I mean, we're human. Sometimes I used to get tired of certain things. I'm like, I'm tired of this. I was new to it though. I was new to it, not understanding that this is the norm. This is the norm. We'll try to send a bigger one, a big one, and to try to take me out. And it would never work, but the fight would happen. And so I had to realize like, oh girl, you've been fighting all your life. Now you didn't give your life to Christ. No wonder you are a soldier in the army of God, because this is what it is. So, I mean, to be honest, anybody that grew up not fighting with cousins or friends or kids at school or family, whatever, and you're not accustomed to throwing them bows, to knucking if you bucking, like if you're not accustomed to that, spiritual warfare will feel like the end of the world. But those who have been accustomed to fighting or sticking up for people, it don't have to be necessarily fist fighting, you'll realize I've been doing this all my life. They was coming for me before I gave my life to Christ, just in different forms. And so I slay giants all the time. I slay giants every day, any day. And yeah, is it fun all the time? No. Would you rather not fight? Yeah. Like how I was before I got saved. It's like, this is so stupid. It's unnecessary, but you're not finna keep playing with me. That's what you're not finna do. You're not finna keep playing with me. Let's get it done. Let's do what it do. And that's kind of how I am in the spirit. I be like, oh, so unnecessary. Like your ending is already prophesied. Like you're going in the pit. You have no victory over me. But you keep trying to play with me. You think it's sweet. Let me show you. This ain't sweet. Like I'm not finna play with you. I'm finna slay you and send you back from whence you came. Like I'm sick of it. Like I'm tired of it. Like, and I get to that point, and God has like been letting me know, like, don't wait, just slay them in the beginning. But I be trying to get a benefit of the doubt. And it's been prophesied to me by different prophets, like I give too much benefit of the doubt. But now that I think about it, it goes back to how I was before I got saved. I would be like, cool, I'll be smooth until I can't be no more. Until like I didn't had it. I didn't had enough of it. Like I can't take no more of it. Like you done pissed me off to this point. And that's how I am in the spirit. And God's been telling me, like, don't just wait. Slay them. Slay them. Don't give them no room to breathe. Don't give them no room to maneuver. Slay them immediately. And so with God teaching me that and me having to learn that, it's been a journey. It's definitely been a journey. And I'm learning to respond way quicker. But when you like kind of cool, you ain't even tripping. It's like you be trying to like let things slide or let things pass. But God be like, no, like nip that in the bud real quick with demonic attacks. And so I'm trying to tell somebody right now, pay attention to how the enemy has always came for you your whole life. He ain't got no new tricks. He is an ancient demon. He ancient. You would think he would have some new tricks because of how ancient he is. You would think like, oh, he's been around for a long time, so he has a million tricks. But to be honest, he one of them old serpents. He's a super extremely old serpent. He has that mindset that's like, if it ain't broke, why fix it? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And that's kind of smart because honestly, he got so many people like messed up. Like we all have had moments or years or decades where the enemy has had us in a chokehold. He has had dominion and power over our life when we were not of Christ. Okay? When we were not of Christ. And so what you have to learn is that this is how he thinks. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. If the way that I'm coming against these people, if this working, why would I change the way I'm coming for them? But when you learn that, you learn. If he thinks if it ain't broke, don't fix it, that means he ain't got no new tricks. Can't teach an old dog new tricks. He an old serpent. That old serpent ain't got no new tricks. He gonna keep coming for your bloodline the way he came for your bloodline since the beginning of your blood. He's gonna keep coming for your family. He's gonna keep coming for your household. He's gonna keep coming for your mind. He's gonna keep coming for your finances. He's gonna keep coming for your peace. The same way he's always came for you. And he may throw something new up in there, twist it up a little bit, sauce it up a little bit, do a little twist, a little spin on it. But at the end of the day, it's going to look like the same way it's looked. And so when you realize the attacks of the enemy and how he come for you, you are able to better guard yourself. You are able to be better prepared for how he come for you. You learn. You learn with me. People love to sneak attack me. They think I'm just going to obliterate them for some reason. I don't know. It's hilarious because I ain't that big. Y'all gonna see I ain't that big. But it's like, nah, we can't get straight the upper hand. And something about her, like she a little twisted, like she a little crazy. Like some in her is something like I can't get her the upper hand. I gotta get her a certain way. Okay? And that's how the enemy come for me. Enemy come for me, he be like, nah, I can't hit her with that. I gotta hit her with something that she ain't gonna see coming. And there's things that he's hit me with that was like, oh, really? Like, that was just dumb. That was just nice try. Really not nice try. Poor try. Terrible try. Like, why did you even try that? Like, you knew that wasn't gonna work and it had no effect. But it's like, he gonna try everything he can to get you off your post, to get you off your square. So what's your job to do? Your job is to stay squared up. Stay posted up. Stay ready. Stay on your guard. Not focused on him. You live your life. You have your fun. But be aware. Like when you got an op around you, and let's say you with a group of your friends, you gonna be focused on your friends. You gonna be focused on the fun y'all having, the time y'all having. But if you got an op lurking around you, or you see them or something, when you see them, you gonna be with your friends, but you may pay attention. You may, look at your peripheral, see how they walk and see where they moving around, see why they getting a little too close. You may turn around and confront them like, what's up? What you on? what's to you? What you got going on? You know, you can confront the situation. So that's how we supposed to operate with the enemy. Like when we are with our people, when we are in church or we're in fellowship and we're with our prayer group or our friend group or whatever, but you see the enemy lurking, you oh man, like I can't, I mean, I'm laughing because it's just so funny because it took me, I feel like, too long to learn this. And I'm younger than 30, but I'm about 30 years old. But it's like, dude, you only come for me a certain way, or you come for me in different ways, but they always the same exact ways. And this is for people that need to understand what a familiar spirit is. I've learned a familiar spirit is a spirit that is very familiar with your bloodline. If pride has ran in your blood, if lust has ran in your blood, if wrath has ran in your blood, wrath is anger. Like, it's really easy for your mama to get angry. It's really easy for your grandma or your dad or your cousins, aunties, uncles, whatever, your friends, the people that you hang around. It's really easy for them to get angry. Pay attention to that spirit in you. You may be the least angry in your whole family, or you may be the least angry in all your friend groups, but familiar spirits operate with each other. Birds of a feather flock together. And so that's how you learn how the enemy come for you as well. Learn externally how he come for you that ain't got nothing to do with you, like the fights I just told you about or the different examples. But also learn what operates in you that can hurt you. Learn how the enemy operates on the outside of you, but also how he operates on the inside of you. Okay, you tired of me talking, son? Yeah, he like, I'm ready for them to get it, Mom. Like, they need to get it. Okay, I'm talking too much. I'm holding you, though. You had a good nap. He been asleep for a long time. So he steady yarning. But, yeah, I just had to share that. I love y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all. Have peace. And stay squared up. Stay posted up. Say your prayers. Say your scriptures. Learn scriptures. Learn about the armor of God. We talking about fighting. We talking about boxing. We talking about jumping. We talking about learn about the armor of God. Learn scripture where he says one can chase out 1,000, but two can chase out 10,000. I think I said that right. I think it's 1,000 and 10,000. One can chase 1,000 demons to flight. Two people can chase out 10,000 demons. So that let me know if one can chase out 1,000, how many demons gonna come for one person? If it take only one person to chase away 1,000 demons, why would just one demon come to fight you? Why would not minimum 3? Why would not minimum 300 demons try to come for you? Because they know, oh, this one person can make 1,000, can make a legion demons leave. Why wouldn't they try to stuff you or attack you with 2,000 demons if you're by yourself? Because you're only one person, you could only chase 1,000 to flight. So let's try to attack her with 2,000 demons on the outside and the inside. Hello. But then you get connected with one person and now y'all chasing 10,000. Come on, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Like, we ain't playing. I want to clap so bad, but I can't because I got my son in my hand. We ain't playing no more. It's time for the kingdom of heaven to advance. It's time for people to know that the weapons of their warfare are not carnal but mighty. The weapons of your warfare are not carnal, meaning they are not worldly, meaning you fighting flesh and blood, but it ain't flesh and blood. Sorry, my Chicago accent or whatever accent I got coming out. You fighting flesh and blood, but it ain't flesh and blood that you fighting against. Okay? It ain't flesh and blood. You're fighting against spirits and principalities and higher places. It's spirits operating in people. It's spirits operating in your bloodline. It's spirits operating in the atmosphere. It's spirits operating in the region that you live in. It's spirits operating in your church that you're supposed to be praying against. It's spirits operating in everything. Even the food we eat. That's why you're supposed to pray over your food, because you don't know who has touched that food and what factory or whatever. It's spirits that walk around houses. I'm able to see spirits to a certain extent, and it's spirits that walk around houses. You could not be doing no sinning, no nothing, but a spirit could try to come around you, especially if you live in apartments. Especially if you live in apartments. I talked about this in a past video. Especially if you live in apartments, because it's like living in one big mansion with a whole bunch of people. It's real easy for spirits to try to come and mess with you if you live in an apartment building and people got demons messing with them. Okay? And old houses. I just got to say that. And old houses. You live in a house that's like 100 years old, 80 years old, 70 years old. You may have some unwanted spirits up in there that you need to pray and cast out in the name of Jesus. And pray before you go move to another place. Pray before you go move to a specific region, to a specific state, before you move to a specific country, before you move into a specific house. Pray and ask God, is this where you want me? And if that's where he wants you, he's going to equip you well to come against any demons from hell that tries to come up against you, because you are his chosen few. You are his chosen vessel. I love you. God bless you. Let's go.